Hey, Bayek, it's me, and in today's video, well, I'm continuing my series looking at classic albums, or classic albums that I think are classic from my CD collection. And this is Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf from 1977. And I think this is such a massive album. I think you can definitely put it in that classic category. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely. Now it sold 43 million copies. Wow. So Meatloaf, yes, debut album. Now Meatloaf is American singer and actor called Michael Lee Aday. He was born in 1947. Sadly, he died in 2022. I think that was a great loss. He's such a great singer and actor. He's a great actor as well. And in his lifetime, he sold in his sort of singing career more than 100 million records worldwide. That is a fantastic amount of records. What can you say? It's just incredible. Now, the success of this album really was its biggest in the UK, Ireland, and Europe. It was released in America and it did well, did get sort of favourable reviews. But yeah, I certainly remember seeing this being performed, well, tracks from it, on the Old Grey Whistle Test at the time. It was a big thing. They did a special program on this, and it was brilliant. You just stood there and thought, wow, this is something special. It really was a very special album. Now, if you look on the cover, you see that it mentions that the songs are by Jim Steinman. Now, Jim Steinman was the composer and writer of these songs. It all was developed from a musical that he'd written called Neverland, which was like a futuristic rock version of Peter Pan. That sounds great, doesn't it? So you can see that musical feel very much in this in this sound. Now they had quite a few problems in actually getting this issued and released. They went round lots of record companies, auditioning it, and it was getting the thumbs down. But they were persistent. They kept at it, and they really believed in this. And fortunately, somebody took up the offer, and they took it on. It was Epic, I think. Cleveland International Epic, who released this. So it was recorded between 1975 and 1976. So you can see, and it was released, of course, on the October the 21st, 1977, in the US. So you could see there was a bit of a gap there, and it was recorded at various sessions, as you will see, because the studio used were Bearsville, Woodstock, New York, Utopia Sound, Lake Hill, New York, the Hit Factory, New York City, and House of Music, New Jersey. So we've got quite a few studios they were involved in recording at various times, and that is reflected in the musicians. Now, the concept of the album cover was, in fact, by Jim Steinman, and it's illustrated by Richard Corbin. So let's have a look now at the musicians involved in this, because there are various sessions took place to record this. We've got, of course, Meatloaf on lead vocals, backing vocals, and percussion. We've got Todd Rundgren on guitar, percussion, and keyboards. We've got Kazim Sultan on bass guitar. We've got Roy Bittan, piano keyboards. We've got Steve Margulies on piano. Cheryl Hardwick, piano. We've got Jim Steinman, so he got involved here on keyboards and percussion, plus spoken words. We've got Roger Powell, synthesizer. We've got Edgar Winter, saxophone. Now we've got Max Weinberg, drums. We've got John Willie Wilcox on drums. And then, a very important contribution, we've got Helen Foley, who does the lead vocals as well as backing vocals. She is amazing. I think she's a great contrast to Meatloaf's vocals. Brilliant. And then we've got members of the New York Philharmonic and Philadelphia orchestras, all adding to the beautiful sound that you get on this. The sounds are so amazing on this, really are. Now, it's produced by Todd Rundgren, who I mentioned earlier. It was one of the musicians, guitarist. But of course, Todd Rundgren had an amazing career as an artist. Just loads of absolute massive catalogue. But if we're looking for his role as a producer, which is on here, he, as I say, he's a musician, singer, and songwriter and producer. He produced the New York Dolls, Hall & Oates, the Tubes, wow. The Psychedelic Furs, Cheap Trick, and XTC. These are just some I've just picked out that he produced. What a great catalogue of artists there. An absolutely amazing catalogue. The production, I really can't fault the production. Everything about this, because you can see the care that was taken over this album. As I say, it's spread out over various sessions, and the production, you really just think, wow, this is outstanding. It is. It's totally outstanding. So let's go through the track listing. It opens up with, of course, the classic Bat Out of Hell. I mean, that track, it just hits you. And what a way to start the album. It's just a great anthem. It is. That's what it is. It's an anthem. You can see the audience watching this live just totally knocked out by it. And it's a great opener. Then we've got You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, and this Hot Summer Night. Now, apparently, the music was inspired by The Who's Barbara O'Reilly. So that's another interesting aspect. But that is such a wonderful song again, and you just can't help but you really getting into the album. It just, you're there, aren't you? Then we've got Heaven Can Wait. My love kind of ballad. It's got that feel to it, and it builds up now. Oh yeah, that is great. Heaven Can Wait, great, sort of wonderful. And then the next one is All Revved Up with No Place to Go. And that one is just wow. It captures that terrestrial, male testosterone. That's it. It does. It's just there, and the tension in the song, and it's there. It's all there. It's brilliantly done. Oh yeah, that tension between a man and a woman, and that it is developed further, as you'll see. And we've got then two out of three ain't bad. Next one, these are just great songs. And then of course we've got this like it's almost like a prog piece, but divided because it's divided into certain sections, and that is Paradise by the Dashboard Light, and it builds up about it's the sexual encounter, the climax of it. We've got Paradise, and then Let Me Sleep on It. Let Me Sleep on It. Oh, it's the interaction is fantastic. And then we've got Praying for the End of the Time. So you've got all that together. It's a wonderful piece. It really is. Absolutely brilliant. It's a climactic piece. It really is. It's just wonderful. And then to end the album, we've got For Crying Out Loud. There's another great ending. It is. Oh, wow, the music. You can't help but love this album, as you can see. Now, there were two singles in the UK released. We had All Revved Up with No Place to Go. I kind of wanted releasing, they must have, surely. I don't know, shortened it, edited it, but there we are. And then, of course, Bat Out of Hell was released as well. So that first one was in October 1978 UK, and then in January 1979, Bat Out of Hell was released. Absolutely. But I just can't talk enough about this album. I've just been playing it again before I've done this. It's an album I just love. I just absolutely love it. What I like as well, they've talked about this as well. There's like this big sound as well. So they wanted to create the big sound. I suppose it's influenced by the Phil Spector Wall of Sound, but developed in this old rock kind of opera kind of thing. I mean, you've got all these influences. You've got the rock, you've got the pop, and you've got the operatic, gothic. Yes, it's all there, all put into this musical brew of sound. It's just so enjoyable. You don't need to do anything, just listen to it and absolutely absorb it as soon as you hear it. And to me, it just sails by. And it even though it's kind of got that musical influence, and I do kind of see it in that way, but I don't as well. It's like a theatrical element. It's just got that mixture. I suppose, the Who were doing rock operas, and you could say this is kind of in that way. You could in some ways call this kind of a rock opera, but a very accessible one. I say it's got a lot of pop influences as well. It's just a great album. It's got everything that you would want, and it's different. And that's why it's sold so well. It's not just a standard musical, is it? It's got that origins, obviously, in his writing of a musical, but it's more than that. It's something like this that absolutely knocks spots off an album like Grease, which everybody seems to love. Anyway, I won't go down that area. But this album is a proper album, it seems to me, in the music. It he's got everything, and his voice, Meatloaf's voice. Wow, what a pair of lungs he had! What a pair of lungs! What a great. But yeah, he's got that, but then he's got subtlety as well. There's sort of gentleness as well, and the power in his voice. On the ballads, he can sing beautifully. The gentleness of it, and then the power. Once he gets going on the rock, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I can't recommend it enough. If you've not heard it, why haven't you? Hey, and this is the cover. Well, you've seen it there, haven't you? But I'll show it on my brilliant CD copy. Oh, I wouldn't swap this for anything. Oh, I love this. I've had this a long time, and look at that. Look at the back there. There's Meatloaf himself, and inside, look at this. It's absolutely beautiful. You got that? That's from the original album cover at the back of it there. And there we've got the disc. Look at that disc. Ooh, ooh, absolutely brilliant. I love it. As you know, I'm mad about CDs. Yeah, fantastic. And that's it. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and we'll let you know when I do all these reviews. You can look in playlists. You can see all the music things I do, but I do a lot of films, TV series, with a nostalgia base. And if you like this particular video, please give this a like. If you give it a like, it'll get it out onto YouTube, and hopefully other people might enjoy it. And they might perhaps not, but hopefully they will get into algorithms and all that stuff. And if you got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments, and I'll always answer them. And that's it. Yes. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.